happiest, most peaceful, most congenial of all countries in the Western Hemisphere today, was how the Prime Minister, Mr. Lyndon Pindling, described it in an Eve of Independence news conference, at which he was also asked to address himself to the other side of Bahamian life. The activities of financiers like Mr. Robert Vesco, the vulnerable tourist-based economy, the dislike of some people, especially on one island, Abaco, for independence at all, and the country's potential racial divisions. On the number of whites who've left the Bahamas in the past few days just before independence, I asked Mr. Pindling, who heads a black government, whether he was happy to see them go, or whether he would have liked them to stay.
I don't think it's a question of whether I am happy to see anybody leave or whether I would welcome them staying. I think it is the question of what is the rightful place of a national in his own country. Those that have left came to perform a particular function on contract. Presumably they left because those contracts expired. And more often than not, they would have expired because we were able to find on the spot, somewhere on East Street or the Bluff or in Governor's Harbor, to perform the functions that those persons once performed. I think there are many left. I think there will continue to be many. But the overall objective still is to advance Bahamians to the very top spots in this country. And I would hasten to say that the Bahamas treats expatriates a far deal better than your country does.
On the Abaco issue, Mr. Pindling said it was a sad, pathetic attempt by non-Abaconians to exploit a legitimate feeling of sadness.
I don't believe that there were any threats ever made by the Abaconians. I think the only real knowledge I have of a threat is a report I saw in a foreign newspaper written by somebody else who said that somebody told them they were going to do something. But those threats were never made by Bahamians in the Bahamas.
Mr. Pindling also referred to a Thanksgiving service held that morning in the same arena where the Union Jack will be hauled down tonight, between Port Charlotte and the sea. It was symbolic, he said, of the thrust of the whole people towards nationhood. Prince Charles was present, joining in an hour of prayers by ministers of every denomination on the islands. The preacher spoke of the Bahamians as a holy nation and a peculiar people, dependent now only on God. And so the churches too joined in with everyone else in the celebrations which reached their climax here tonight.